Right now, we get to our money man, Lance Hokut, who is, like Elvis has left the building, Lance Hokut has entered the building. Good morning, brother.
Happy Friday. How are you, Steve-O?
I'm doing well, man. Good to see you on a Friday morning.
Kind of empty in your studio today.
Well, Meg left me for a little while. Jersey Girl left me for who knows, maybe forever.
Did Big Willie make it back into the state?
Big Willie did. We haven't talked to him, but I saw a picture of him standing outside Trump Tower as Jersey Girl showed him the city.
Yeah, that's awesome, isn't it?
So he's a changed man.
Country boy went to the city.
You got that right. He looked very happy standing in front of Trump Tower, by the way.
I wonder if he wore a cowboy hat and cowboy boots up there. His shorts.
He looked like he had his Luke Combs get up on when I saw the picture. So
he needs to maximize that.
Milk it, man. Milk it.
That's right. Take it while you can.
He signs autographs on the beach, he tells me, with girls who thinks he's Luke Combs.
I wonder what he looked like next to the naked cowboy up there.
I don't know if his heart could have handled that. I got to find out if he saw the naked cowboy.
That's funny.
I bet he did if he was walking the streets of New York City.
No kidding. He's still up there. I saw he had some negative publicity lately.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know what it was related to, but I saw it.
Well, he's made a career out of that.
Yeah, he has.
Craziest thing ever. Lance Hokut from the Lance Hokut Financial Group, a more comfortable approach to all things money. And I got some inside baseball. I was just privy to a conversation Lance was having, I think, with his office. And, I mean, this is the big time. I mean, I overhear him going, yes, buy 85 shares of that. Okay, buy 100 shares of that. Okay, no, don't buy that. It's down.
Get to see inside the machine, huh?
It made me nervous.
Yeah,
it made me nervous, man.
We do it every day. My wife tells me, look, we get checks all the time, big numbers, hundreds of thousands and millions all the time. And it doesn't bother me.
No,
she's like, okay, because when I'm dealing with my money, she's like, wait a minute, you can't do that. It's like, yeah, it's just a number.
Oh, Lord. I guess you have. Yeah, it's like a doctor. You get used to it.
You get used to it. Yes, sir. And we're blessed to be able to help people with that.
And I know you do. And you don't have to. I don't want anybody listening to think I got to be a millionaire to use a service like Lance Hokut, because you really don't.
Look, one of the first things I said the first time we started doing this is we all got here with nothing, and guess what? We're leaving here with nothing. And if people trust us with that while they're here, God bless you. I want to help them with that.
Absolutely.
So we it's like getting on the airplane, and I'll explain that real quick. When you get on one of the big carriers that has first class, you're going to walk through first class, right? Unless you're sitting there, and you're going to go back to coach. Now, that aircraft is going to get there the same time, right?
Sure.
It's going to land the same time. But the experience may be a little different.
Way different.
At first class, you may drink on a glass. You may have a plate. I don't know. They're not serving food.
You may have more leg room.
You may have more leg room.
It's important.
In the back, you may have a little less of all those. But the experience is different. You're still going to get there on time. And that's how we try to treat our clients.
Like that. That's a good analogy.
It's respectful. You're going to have a little different experience, but you're going to get there the same time.
Exactly. And that's the bottom line,
That's right. Bottom line.
Bottom line. So bottom line here is LanceHokut.com. You can get in touch with Lance if you'd like to and talk about your finances. You know, it's Friday, Get Out of Debt Friday. We do Q&A, and we've got an interesting leadoff question from somebody that tapped that app this morning. The name is Maggie in Tuscaloosa, and it says, "Hi, Dad."
That's awesome.
AKA Lance Hokut. I'm tapping the app. I love this. To get your advice on whether I should get a credit card or a signature loan at this stage of my life as a recent graduate. What do you think I should do, Dad? I'm
proud of the girl because last night she said, hey, I've got a question, but I think I'm going to tap the app. Maggie's been with me for about a year and a half at the office, working side by side, and I'm thankful for that. She runs all our social media, and I said, well, follow the process and tap the app. So here's the answer to that question,
baby. It's a good question.
Yeah, it's a great question, especially for a young person coming right out, whether it's a high schooler or a college student. Here's the difference between those two. The credit card is an availability of money that you can go and charge.
Okay.
Interest rate's probably going to be about the same as a signature loan. However, the signature may be a little higher. But here's the difference. The signature loan, once you go get the signature loan, it's in your checking account. It's there. So what does that mean? You're paying interest right away.
Okay.
On that credit card, it's the availability. So it's sitting there. You're not, let's say you get a $500 limit. It's sitting there. You're not paying interest on anything as long as there's no balance. So I really like that better than going out and getting that signature loan. Now, a signature loan, if you want to go buy something to put in your house or buy a car, then that's okay. I'm okay with that. And again, that's an unsecured. Both of these are unsecured line of credit, so they're going to be a little higher interest rate as opposed. Let's say you go buy that car. Well, the car has a piece of equity. It has they can go and repossess that car if they need to. So they know there's collateral, though. That's the word I was looking for. They know there's collateral, so they can go grab that if they need. So the interest rate's a little bit lower typically. So I like the credit card with the low limit at the beginning. Great question, Mag. Thanks for asking that.
Good job, Maggie. Way to tap that app, by the way. That's how we do it. Just got a message. We have to share this from Firefighter 441, who says, I listen to the Money Man every morning. I love it, and I love the morning prayer. Keep up the good work.
Man, that morning prayer is awesome. Buy Taco Casa. I love it. And I like the idea that you're going and getting different pastors from around the community. It's good to hear how they're different perspectives, isn't it? It's
absolutely.
awesome.
Although I almost got in trouble the other day because I introduced one of our pastors, and I said the name of his church, but I added Baptist, just thought it was, and it ended up not being. And he wrote me a message, and he was laughing, of course. He put an LOL on the end of the message, but he said, yeah, I was a little salty there for a minute about that. He goes, but I got over it.
In the Bible, I don't know that I find denominations anywhere.
Great point.
We've made that stuff up.
Amen. All right, from Deb this morning. If we get another $1,200 stimulus check, and it sounds like we are going to, by the way, what is the smartest possible thing to do with it, and what are the best options? Deb, can I guess initially what you're going to say?
Go for it.
I feel like I've signed up for a Money 101 with you.
Let's go.
I think you're going to say make sure you got that emergency fund funded and ready to go in case you have an emergency, and then beyond that, whatever.
That's awesome. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a participant in this.
I take notes.
That's awesome. So, yes, I think we need to have that cash reserve first so we don't have to go to credit. And I'm going to be honest, I think we've got a little more pain to go through with this economy before we start to see the reality.
You bet.
So if you're on the teetering, hey, we might need this for a little bit longer, let's hang on to it. Make sure that cash reserve. After that, I'm going to make sure that you're funding your Roth or your traditional IRAs, any type of education funding for your children as well. So those are four great layers of this cake that we're building here.
Yeah, if you were a betting man, where would you bet most people what they did with that first $1,200 stimulus check? Don't you think the majority of people probably went out and bought a new toy of some kind?
I told you, I think I was in here that first Friday after we got that, and I saw a lady walking out with two 70 or 60-inch TVs.
There was a lot of that, I'm sure.
I know. And now that's one reason why the government did that, but there's also another reason why the government did that, so you could pay your rent, so you could pay your mortgage. So I think there's an equilibrium we've got to have with that. So I think there were some of those expenses that happened because the consumer is king. The consumer drives a lot. I mean, think about that's what you do every day is talk to consumers.
That's right.
To get them to buy stuff. So there is a good reason for people to buy stuff, but also a good reason for people to save that as well.
Somebody just tapped that app. Actually, it's not somebody. It's Sonny J from Tuscaloosa, who has Houndstooth Barbecue, saying they're listening, Roll Tide, and loving the show. We appreciate that so much. Have you had Houndstooth Barbecue from the food truck?
I have. We had it in our neighborhood.
Phenomenal,
they came to the neighborhood, and it was great.
And they're about to do brick and mortar, by the way. They're taking over one of the old Dickies locations here real soon. So.
I am so excited to see some of these restaurants locally.
Me too, man.
I'm not sure if it's a local, one of your advertisers, but one of your local guys has done that recently. They went from a food truck. They did some catering for us years ago, and now they opened up the old credit union right down from Indian Hills.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
And one of our sponsors on the show, Reggae Flava.
That's right.
Just opening in Temerson Square after a very successful run with a food truck. So we need more of that, don't we?
I had a friend ask the other day, my husband has been out of work. He's excellent at what he does. I talked to her. I said, well, has he thought about a food truck? Because those have just taken off.
Oh, they have.
And I mean, I guess we kind of get the end of some of those things in the big cities, but they've taken off, especially during COVID, because nobody wants to go to a restaurant.
That's exactly right.
I think the ingenuity will keep our economy going. I hope it does.
I do too. Final question this morning. I love this question. This is from Jonathan. Listen to this. Mr. Hocut, it says, my dad always said if you can't pay for it with cash, don't buy it. Well, I'm 26 and I've tried that and I'm not doing so well. What's your opinion?
I have always had the opinion that there are several good debts for us to have as consumers. I like the car debt. Why? Well, if you don't have a car, can you get anywhere? We don't live in a metro city where you can hop on a bus and logistically get timely. Now, Tuscaloosa's got a bus system, but it's not as efficient as what Chicago, New York, Boston, some of those cities.
You got to have a car.
You got to have a car. Now, do you have to have a Maserati? No. But you need to be aware that that's a good debt, in my opinion. School debt, student loans. If you cannot pay for your student loans out of pocket, if your parents can't, if your grandparents or somebody can't, I like those debts because without the school loan, you can't make the car payment, you can't get the education, you can't get the job you want.
Got to have it.
That third thing, we talked yesterday, I believe, about a mortgage versus renting.
Right.
Okay, well, if you don't have that house, that permanency, that stability, now, not everybody's looking for that, but if you don't have that loan, typically, I mean, how many of us have couple $100,000 to go and just write a check for a house.
Right.
So I like those three debts. Those are good debts. There's some bad debts. So I like what Dad has said to a certain extent. But after that, we've got to look at those three to say, okay, how can we live in today's society without some of that?
I mean, is that realistic in 2020? Pay cash for everything?
I don't know that it is. I mean, on those big ticket purchases. And there's some advantages. If you're a business owner, you can write off some of those things, such as a new vehicle, such as a building that you're buying. So I'm not sure that I agree totally with it. I see where he's coming from. But in today's environment, look, if our houses were still $3,000, $4,000,
maybe so,
like they were in the 50s, sure. But come on, the average house is probably $60,000 to $100,000.
Man, you are touching a nerve today. Okay, this just in.
I have that impact sometimes.
I love listening. I love listening to the Money Man. So informative. His son and my grandson, Jeremy, played baseball together at Hale County.
That's awesome.
Small world, isn't it?
Small world, that's right.
That's listener Lita listening to you right now.
I'll tell you what, the Hale County community is a great place to really hang out in. They're really passionate about their high school and their middle school. Really good folks down in that area. I'd love to have some more industry and some more restaurants and things like that down there. In fact, we ate at Big Mike's last night. It was great.
Now, that is a sponsor. Can't beat Big Mike's.
That's right. Big Mike's was awesome.
You can't beat that steak either. Maybe the best in the country. Well, I think we're all over the place today. And as always, you brought it, man. You brought it.
It's awesome. Thanks for letting me come in the studio. God bless y'all. Have a great weekend. Remember, Lance Hogan Financial Group is an independent firm, and we clear through S.A. Stone. Have a great weekend.
LanceHocut.com, everybody. A more comfortable approach to all things money.